Hi everyone, this is Dawn. I'm here with some slow, gentle yoga on this Monday afternoon. I missed you all last week. I hope you practiced, maybe looked up one of our old videos. As always, I want to thank the library and the Friends of the New Milford Library for supporting this program to bring to you yoga in the time of COVID, which, as I said last time we met, we're hoping to bring some of these classes outdoors to different venues, probably Harrybrook Park or maybe somewhere else that's outside. If we do so, you're all welcome to join us, and the way to do that is to just call the library the morning of the class, Monday morning, and ask for Val Fisher, and she'll let you know if we're going to be outside. Today looked like it might rain at this time, so we opted not to be outdoors. So. But glad you're here. Close your door, get yourself settled. We are going to use straps today, so if you do have a yoga strap, definitely grab it or grab something like it. If you don't have it, I will give you some modifications. The most important thing, in case it's your first time practicing with me, is that you follow your body's lead and you listen to your own intuition. We often don't do that enough in life and in yoga. If something doesn't sound right or feel right, modify, go into child's pose, just listen to what makes sense for you. Okay? So we always spend the first few moments getting ourselves grounded, letting go of whatever happened so far today, letting go of what's going to happen after class, and just coming into this moment here and now. So I invite you to lie down on your back, if that's comfortable for you. Let your legs just kind of splay out, your feet go out to the side, let your arms be relaxed, palms up or down. Close your eyes if that's comfortable. And just start to breathe. Obviously, you've been breathing all day, but start to notice your breath. Start to notice if it feels rushed or jagged, and invite it to be smooth. Take a deep breath through your nose to the count of 4. Feel the expansion. Hold the breath for a moment. And then before it becomes uncomfortable, let it go through the mouth a little bit longer to the count of 5 with a nice long sigh. Pause, wait, don't inhale right away. Notice that sweet space between breath, inhale and exhale. And then when you do inhale again through the nose, maybe inhaling just a little bit more, sipping in a little bit more air. Pausing. And then exhaling, releasing through the mouth. Emptying out, not only emptying out the lungs, but emptying out anything that is tense in the body, anything that no longer serves you. And continue with this breath cycle. Letting this be the balm to maybe a monkey mind, the busy brain that we all have. And knowing that you can come back to this breath at any point during the class if you're feeling the mind wander, feeling disconnected. Just focus on the breath. Let it be that point of focus. Remembering that my main objective in teaching yoga is to teach people not just the stretch or how to do fancy yoga tricks, but more importantly, how to feel calm, steady, and how to navigate once you step off your yoga mat, how to bring your yoga practice, your mindfulness into the real world. So part of being mindful is just noticing when the mind starts to get busy and just coming back to the breath or a mantra. That's my brain. Let me go back to my breathing. That is success, not failure. So continuing with this breath, take a moment and just scan the body. Notice any areas of tension. Maybe it's mental, maybe it's in your heart space today, maybe it's your physical body, maybe yard work has your shoulder or your knees hurting. So just notice that, but don't focus on it too much. Send some good energy there and then move along. See if you can let your back body melt right into the mat. We're going to be here for just another couple of breaths. I always like to offer a little food for thought. This is called There Is No Wrong Emotion. You are never wrong to feel a particular emotion. You feel what you feel. The question is, what do you do with what you are feeling? If you stay mirrored in an emotion that adversely affects you, such as jealousy or anger, you may need to work to change it. But that does not mean that you were wrong to feel it to begin with. So first, allow yourself to feel what you're feeling. Look at it. Mentally poke at it. Remind yourself what the opposite of this emotion feels like. And see if it is possible to shift your experience to an emotion that benefits you when you feel ready to move on. So again, little food for thought, take or leave. Let's do 3 more big breaths here. Feeling free, especially if you're alone in a room, to really let out an audible sigh. Maybe there's something you've been carrying that's just not been healthy or helpful for you. Release it. And if you're not ready to release it right now, maybe through this practice, through the breath, you can work on releasing. Let's do one more big breath in through the nose. Holding. And as you breathe out through your mouth, roll to one side, take that fetal position or that side sleep position. Maybe make a pillow with your arms if you'd like. Just noticing, just working with the pranayama for a few moments, how that feels. The pranayama is the breath. Just connecting your breath with your mind, slowing down, stepping off that hamster wheel for just 5 minutes. And now with a little more clarity, perhaps an intention forms for your practice. It can be as simple as a word that resonates with you. It can just be something that is personal, or maybe if nothing comes up, leave a little space and something will come up while you practice. On your next breath in, gently help yourself up to Sukhasana, easy seat. Taking time to make this your sweet space, your sweet seat, maybe moving the flesh from the sitting bones so you're sitting up on that bony part of your bottom. Maybe grabbing a prop, such as a blanket if you have one. Just make sure that that's comfortable for you. For most, I shouldn't say most people, for a lot of people it is comfortable to sit up on a blanket, have the hips propped up, and for others it's not. So come to your comfortable seat, take time to relax your shoulders down. Let your spine grow long, the crown of the head reach towards the ceiling. And when we close our eyes, we're going to start moving through Kundalini spirals. If you've practiced with me, go ahead and start. If you've not, just watch. It's very personal. You don't have to move at my speed. Think about keeping the sit bones rooted, the legs rooted, and just moving through the upper part of the body in a way that feels nice. Maybe glide your shoulders around. And if the neck feels comfortable, maybe move the neck as you move. So think about maybe slowing down a bit or speeding up. Keep breathing. Churning out. Relieving tension. When you're ready, change direction fluidly. So generally speaking, when we practice yoga, we breathe in and out through the nose. In these beginning positions, it's okay to breathe out through the mouth if you still feel that helps release some tension. Start to bring the next circle in smaller. Continue in the same way, bringing each circle in smaller. Notice if your spine feels longer. And once your circles cannot be any smaller, just come to stillness, come to that Sukhasana, sweet seat. And you can keep your eyes closed. Listen to my voice. We usually move through the same variations of the 6 moves of the spine, warming the spine up. So if you're familiar, follow along, or open your eyes and peek. Big breath in, we're going to reach those arms up towards the sky, making a V with the arms. Clasp your fingers together overhead, fitting them together, and then flipping the palms to the ceiling if that's comfortable for you. So notice your shoulders. If they've creeped up by your ears like this, relax them down. Okay? It's okay to have a soft bend in the elbow. Take a next breath in and stretch those hands up, stretching through the forearms, the wrists, the fingers. And as the next exhale arrives, release the hands down to the head. Let the elbows bend. Let's do that 2 more times. Each time maybe stretching out through a little bit more, being aware of those shoulders, keeping them down. Feel the stretch through the fingers, the wrists. If you're on a keyboarding or you're doing something where you're using your hands a lot, this should feel lovely. And connect the breath with the movement. Last time, breathing in, stretching up. Get a little bit longer. Feel the side body grow. Play around with that a little bit. Maybe move back and forth. And on our next exhale, we're going to go into our side stretch. So we're going to release those hands, leave the left arm up, open the fingers and bring the right hand down. Soft bend in the elbow. See if you can stretch that side a little bit more, not just the arm, but right through this side body. As you exhale next, arc over your body, keeping the left sit bone rooted, and stretch. We're going to do this 3 times, so don't feel like you have to go to your edge right away. The breath in draws you back up, lengthen through the arms, set back up, and then exhale and stretch again. No pain in the lower back, so if this is not feeling good, maybe you come out of it a bit. Last one. Exhale, release. And inhale back up. Always follow your breath. So you may still be here, and I'm back up here, okay? So everybody breathes slightly different rate. Don't worry about that. Bring your right arm up. We're going to take a moment and just move those wrists around. So anytime your arms are above your heart, you're going to feel your heart rate up a little. So it's always okay to modify. I'm always going to give you modifications. All we're wanting to do is wake up those wrists, move those fingers around. Doesn't matter where your arms really are at this point. Take a moment, close those fists tight, hold them in, and when you inhale, tighten them a little bit more, and when you exhale, fly the fingers open. There you go. Take those fingers together again, clasp them, reach up, get long again, root down through the sit bones, but feel the length in the side body. Relax the shoulders down, I just caught myself. And on your next exhale, using your breath to guide you, always move with the breath. Release the right arm, bring the left hand down, soft bend in the elbow, and exhale, arc over the body. Inhale, draws you back up, lengthen, and exhale, release. And inhale back up. Nice. Let's roll the shoulders a couple times. So do it with the breath if you like. Slow it down. Breathing in, drawing the shoulders up. Open up, bring the shoulder blades together. Feel that chest opening. And then exhale, glide down and back. Do that 3 more times. Open. Exhale, release. On the exhale, just adding on if you like. You can drop the chin to the notch in the neck when the arms circle through the back. Letting the head be heavy. Then inhale, back up. Open one last time. Exhale, release. This time leave the chin down on the notch of the neck and just gently glide side to side a couple of times. Back to center. Big breath in, draw the head back up. Nice. we're gonna go through some seated cats and cows, just a couple, just again warming up the spine. With your breath in, we're gonna go right into our cow. So when we go into cow, seated, it's a very subtle little movement. You're not gonna see it as much as when we're in our table position. So, but the same similar type thing, we're gonna, the belly pop out, the shoulders come back a bit, tilt the chin up, and then when we exhale, let the shoulders come in, round the back, drop the head. Let's do a couple more with your own breath. Focus the breath with the movement. One more of each. Back to your seat when you're ready, Sukhasana. From here we'll go to a seated spinal twist. So often I will just do the regular seated spinal twist where we come up like this and then twist looking out over our right shoulder. So just for fun today, if you'd like to try something different, you can do this. If this doesn't work for you, we're gonna take that left leg under right leg is gonna cross. Make sure both sit bones are rooted and make sure your right foot is planted down. Sit up nice and tall. Just a different way to go into the twist. Again, if this doesn't work for you, go back to the other way. There's no ego in yoga. Big breath in, sit up nice and tall. You're gonna take that left arm around that right knee. Take the right hand behind. And as you exhale, using that arm, holding on for traction, twist and look over the right shoulder. We'll stay here for 3 breaths, so follow your own breath. As you inhale, soften, come back towards center. Set back up by sitting up tall. If you've lost the grip around that right leg, which sometimes happens, you can always re-grip it. Go deeper if you want. Take that right arm on the other side of the right leg, the left arm, and then twist. You may feel a nice little chiropractic adjustment, a little pop, snap in your back that feels good. Inhale draws you back. Last one, whichever works for you. Twisting. If you like, take your chin, let it migrate over to the other shoulder so that your neck is getting a little twist the other way. Let's hold this for one full breath. In. Let go with an audible sigh right out through the mouth. Hold the pose though. Breathe in again through the nose. And on the next exhale, whenever it arrives for you, release. Let's take the legs out in front, in between sides. Give them a little shake. Flex those feet. We're just gonna do a little bit of stretching with the back of the legs. Maybe a gentle little stretch in the hip flexors if you could feel that when you went into that twist. Big breath in, reach up with the arms. Pull the belly button in and up. So when I say that, that's an Uddiyana Bandha, it's a core lock, but it's also helpful. It makes a little more room for this fold. So in and up, and as you exhale, hinge at the hips and fold. So don't worry so much about where you're grabbing. It may be your toes, it may be your ankles, it may be your calves, but grab onto something. If you have your strap, you could use this. I should have said that. And keeping the crown reaching towards the front of your room, so not letting the head dip down towards the knees, but keeping the crown reaching towards the other side of your room. See if you can maybe inch your way into a little bit deeper stretch. Feel the opening in the back of the legs. We'll be here for another breath. Exhale, release to your deepest expression. And inhale, come on back up. Again, shake those legs out a little bit. We're gonna go into the second side, the twist the other way. So this time, let's see. Left leg comes under. No, the other way around. I don't usually mess this up, especially on film, but everybody has their days. All right. This time the left foot is gonna be propped right down. Sit up nice and tall. And again, if this didn't work for you, simple twist that we normally do is perfectly fine. As you take a big breath in, we're gonna take that right arm this time around that left knee. Left hand comes behind and twist, looking over that left shoulder. Inhale draws you back, maybe all the way or maybe halfway. Take the time to step back up again. Spine is long, so we're not hunched down like this. But nice and tall. And on your exhale, twist again. Follow your breath. Final twist. And with that third twist, maybe take that chin over to the other shoulder, where we'll hold for a big breath in. Audible exhale, side out. Hold the pose. Big breath in again when you're ready. And on your next exhale, slowly release. Bring your feet right together. We're going to go right into Baddha Konasana. Cobbler's pose. Open your feet like a little book. Your outside edges are touching, sit up nice and tall. As you hinge and exhale at the same time, keep your back straight. Don't worry about how far you go. If it's really intense too much, you can always pop your feet out a little bit. That's going to make it a little less intense. If you want more intensity, move them in. Keep the head and the neck in nice alignment, nice and straight. We're not bending the head and lowering down. Notice when you start to feel the stretch. Where do you feel it? Again, being aware, not just moving through the motions, not making your to-do list while you do this. So notice if you feel it in your hips, do you feel it in your back? On your next and final exhale, if you'd like, you can tuck the chin to the notch in the neck and let the crown of the head go towards those feet. Maybe it lands there, maybe it doesn't. Hold for a full breath here. Next breath in, slowly come up. Unwind, unroll. And once again, just take those legs out, give them a little shake. Maybe bend and point and flex those feet, circle the ankles. I hear cracks in mine. And we're gonna make our way onto our hands and knees. We're gonna go right into our cats and cows from table pose. So set yourself up in your table. Open those fingers wide. Make sure that you feel stable. And from here, we'll go right into our cow. So drop the belly, tilt the chin up, feel a broadening between your collarbone area. If you like, flex those feet. And then when your exhale arrives, flatten the feet, tuck the tail, drop the head. Feel that undulation of the spine, that stretching between each vertebra. And linking the breath with the movement always. As your next inhale arrives, flow right back into your cow. Flow with your own breath, doing just a couple more. One more of each. One more cow. One more cat. And then come back to your table. Move those hips side to side. Move those hips in some little circles. Make sure you go both ways with those circles. And just for a moment, in case there's anybody new following us, I always like to show once in a while what child's pose looks like, because it's always something you can drop down to. There's no shame in it. It's a nice place to take a little break and come back to your breath, come back to that mindfulness piece. So 2 ways to go into child's pose, keeping the knees together. If you have a blanket or a pillow, you can always put it down here if your forehead's not meeting the mat, letting your hands relax behind you, and coming to a nice tight little ball, relaxing into child's pose. Other modifications are maybe taking a throw pillow, putting it between your bottom and your heels, because so some people don't find that's comfortable or need something to bridge the gap. Okay. The other alternative child's pose is opening up those hips, knees. And you can tell I took a week off last week. Okay. And then we're gonna walk those arms out. Now this is a little less restorative if you've done a lot of arm work and you wanna relax the shoulders, but it's also a lovely stretch. Think about what your dogs and cats do sometimes. Stretch those arms out and then release the head down. Let the arms relax down on the mat. Belly gets to release right in between the legs, so it's nice and relaxing, restorative. And since we're here, we'll take one more breath here. And then come back up to our table. Help yourself up, bring those knees together, and set back up. We'll go right up to table again. From here, we're gonna be going up into downward dog. So again, child's pose is always an option, or maybe if you need a little rest, you can drop down. Curl the toes under, fingers wide spread apart. We're gonna take a big breath in, push into your hands, and rise up, letting your head and neck relax between your arms. So we don't wanna have the head up like this, we don't wanna have a neck ache later. Release those heels a little closer to the ground, and for just a moment, we're gonna all bend our knees. Bend your knees so much that your belly rests on your thighs. I want you to stretch out the arms. So by letting go of the legs, not worrying about them, we can stretch through the arms. Maybe it's not even physically moving, but just feel that you're pulling back on your sticky mat, stretching through the arms, relax the head down, and then start to ease up with those legs. Straighten them, but don't lock the knees out. We're gonna walk the dog here, so opposite knees and opposite heel presses. Take a moment and a breath and come up on your tippy toes. And then when you exhale, slowly release down. Nice. One more time, breathing in. And exhaling, releasing. Now we're gonna look up through our hands. We're gonna take that left foot up right between the hands and bring the right knee down. So if you have any knee issues, you can always take a blanket or something and put it under your knee. We are going to take that back leg and scooch it back just a little bit more so you can feel that stretch in the front of the quad muscle. And we're going to come on up, holding on to the knee. Make sure you're in good alignment. I could feel I wasn't. You want your knee in alignment with your ankle. If you are comfortable here, you can stay here. If you need to bring the hands down, you can. And if you want to take it a step further, really leaning and stretching out that front of that quad. We'll bring the arms up. Nice balance. If you feel unbalanced, notice if you are too close together with both legs, you will not feel balanced. So I always say it's like you want to be on railroad tracks, not on a tightrope. So again, I'm kind of starting with beginning stuff. I always like to review. If you are in line with your legs, you're not going to feel comfortable. You want to have a nice distance between. So let's stay here for 2 more breaths. Big breath in, rise up, maybe even just a little bit, and exhale, sink into that right leg a little bit more. One more breath, and exhale, release. Hands come on either side. We're going to get that back toes in the launch position, come up, and bring that left foot back. Find your down dog, or take a break into your child's pose. We'll be moving through that same stretch on the other side. So find what works for you. If you choose down dog, maybe find a still dog. Only your breath will matter. One more breath here. If you're in child's pose, join us in down dog. And then look up through your hands. You're going to do that same thing on the other side. So this time bring your right foot up and check for those railroad tracks. Again, we don't want to be too close together or that makes us not as sturdy. Bring that left leg down. You have a little bit of stretch. You want to open up the back of that left quad, you can. Proceed just like we did on the other side. If you're feeling unstable, you can always just stay here. not rushing the process. If and when you feel ready, bring the arms up. And we'll be here for 3 breaths. As we exhale, we're gonna sink into that front knee a little bit more, which is gonna cause that stretch on the back quad. Steady in our mind, steady in our breath, steady in our body. One more breath. And on your next exhale, release the hands. Take that back foot, prop it up. Can't see mine on film, I can see that now. And come on back to your down dog. We're gonna go right into one-legged dog from here. So, if you need a break, feel free to prop down into a quick child's pose. We're gonna take a breath. And on the next inhale, we're gonna take that left leg up, one-legged dog. Make sure both arms are supporting you. So sometimes the inclination is to let one shoulder take all the weight. If you'd like, open up that hip by bending that knee that's up in the air. Keep the foot flexed. Head is hanging heavy. Gently shake your head yes and no. Make sure you're not holding up your neck. Next breath, straighten that leg. Reach that toe up a little higher. Get a little longer with the leg. And then exhale, release that leg. Let's all take a quick little down child's pose between sides. Your choice. Find which child's pose works for you. Feeling the breath, feeling the heart. Coming back to your intention. One more breath in this child's pose. As you exhale, release the hips from the bottom a little bit closer to the heels. Sink in. Next breath in, come on up out of child's pose, and we'll head through that same thing on the other side. Right back up into down dog. And this time we are going to take that right leg up, one-legged dog, reaching up with the right leg. Again, notice your arms, they're both strong, they're both holding in, keeping you up. Open that hip if you wish, opening up, flexing that right toes, that right foot. And next breath, straighten the leg, reach that toe up a little higher, and then exhale, release that foot down. Now just to keep it interesting, usually I have you walk your feet to your hands. Why don't we try walking our hands to our feet today? And we'll come in right into our forward fold. Next breath in, half lift, prepared spine. Straighten your back, reach the crown of the head towards the room. Feel the buttocks pushing back towards the back of the room. And as you exhale and fold, pull that belly button in and up again, making more room and fold. Let's do that 2 more times. Half lift. And fold. Last one, half lift, prepared spine. This time when we fold, we're going to try to go a bit deeper. So again, pulling the belly button in and up, making a little room. Maybe try reaching back for the calves, the heel, the ankles. Let's stay in this forward fold for 1 full breath. Breathing in, breathing out, maybe slightly letting go a bit more. Next breath in, bend the knees quite a bit. We'll reverse swan dive all the way up. Head comes up last. Get nice and easy. Put your hands above to prayer position and down in front of your heart space. Just take a moment, keeping your eyes either open or closed. Feel your heart beating beneath your thumbs. Checking in. Catching your breath maybe. 1 more breath here. And release. Nice. So we're going to do breath of joy today. And if you've never done that with me, I'm going to go through it step by step. If you have, you know, I love it. And it's actually, it was a sequence that was put together, I believe, in at Korpala, and it's meant to bring joy. So what's better than bringing joy, right? So don't worry if you feel like there's a lot to do because you're doing some breathing and some arm movements. If you make a mistake, it's okay. This is not the class for perfection. As long as you do nothing that makes your body hurt, play with it and think joyful thoughts. So we'll start first with just talking about the breath. You're going to do the breath in 3 parts. So normally when we inhale one full inhale. So going back to my elementary school teaching days of teaching children fractions, I'm going to think about breathing in thirds. You're going to sip in a third of air, pause, a third of air, and then a third of air. And then when you exhale, it's all going to come through your mouth. So give that a go without any hand machinations. Just try breathing in thirds. So notice where it starts and where it fills up and how it feels to empty that. Ready? Do that one more time. A third, third, and a third. Exhale, release. All right, so now that you have that, we're going to add the movements. So basically, soften your knees, hip distance apart. When we do exhale, we are going to come all the way down, and I want you to just be mindful as when you bring your head below your heart and then come back up, because we're going to do it rapidly. If you start to feel lightheaded, to stop. Keep your head above your heart until you feel better. It's always a disadvantage to do these classes and not be able to see people and monitor. So I always like to give a little extra information. If you have low blood pressure, also, anytime you're going to be rapidly bringing your head below your heart and back up, it's something to consider. Okay? So soften your knees. These are the arm movements. Don't worry about the breath. I'm going to teach you the arm movements, then we're going to bring it all together. Okay? And again, first, second grade, third grade teacher, I'm going to use those terms that I would teach kids, just easy to latch onto. So the first is mummy arms, then conductor arms, and then arms over your head. And exhale, soften knees, and the arms fly behind you. Always soften the knees. You don't want to have those knees locked out and hurt those knees. So, okay, let's do it one more time just with the movements, and then we'll connect all the breath. So mummy, conductor, overhead, and release. Now let's try to bring it together. So we're moving a third, a third, a third, and then the exhale. Here we go. Keep relaxed in the knees. We'll try to do it about 6 times. Again, stop if you feel lightheaded. Maybe we'll do it 7, who knows? One more. And back up. Find your mountain pose. Bring those shoulders back. Open those fingers wide. Tilt your chin up. Feet are planted. Keep your eyes open. Feel the prana, the life force moving through your body. Feel your heart rate up. Feel the joy. Visualize something that brings you joy. Breathe it in. Send it out to someone else. Breath of joy. One more breath in mountain, just absorbing the joy. And exhale, release the pose. Beautiful. All right, we're going to go right into tree pose, because I always like to do a balancing pose with each practice. I do want to remind you, this is a gentle class, and there's nothing wrong with, even if today's a day you're feeling a little off kilter, to grab a chair or position yourself near something that's not going to topple over, to balance. Because balance is different day to day, week to week. Sometimes it's what's going on in our own lives, in our own heads. Don't be afraid to use props, all right? So when we balance, we want to keep the crown of the head up. Usually if we find a gaze at something on the floor that's not moving, we call that our dristi, but we don't want to have our head down looking at it. The crown is up, the spine is long. Take that right foot, open those toes, and plant that foot down mindfully. Keep a little soft bend in the knee. We don't ever lock the knees out. If you are holding on to something, hold on to something. Okay, I like to start with my hands on my hips. That's just me. If it feels better, your hands at your side, you can. Vrikshasana, tree pose. Bring the foot inside of the other side of the ankle, the left foot inside of the right. Okay, you can grow your tree branches. This can be your tree here. If you are holding on to something, you might play with the idea of coming into the balance, and if you feel unsteady, holding on. If you are wanting to go on and try a little bit more, maybe try opening up that inner thigh a little bit. Not so much that your body's twerking to the side, but just the leg. Feel that little bit of opening right here. You can play with bringing the foot up, letting the foot kind of encircle that calf muscle, or maybe coming all the way up to the upper thigh. Try to avoid that knee joint. Make sure this leg is strong and pushing back in. Look at somebody that's moving. I'm looking at myself on camera and it often throws me off. Have those arms energetically reaching towards the sky. Let your tree be whatever tree makes you happy. Maybe it's a palm tree. Maybe it's one of those beautiful flowering trees that are around this time of year. Try not to close your eyes. It will be harder to balance. And just find your breath, find your santosha, your contentment in this tree. I'm going to back up because I feel you can't see me fully. Oops. See, like I said, hold on to something. Let's try to hold this for another breath or two. Finding the ease, the contentment with the pose, being grateful to be on our yoga mats today. Breathing in and out through the nose. One more breath. And then with some grace, trying to close the pose nicely and gracefully. Shake that side out. And knowing that each side can be different, maybe you feel more stable on the next side, maybe not. Having something to hold on to if you wish. Opening the left toes, finding your drishti, your gaze, but keeping your head up. Maybe opening that inner thigh a bit. Noticing your hip points are going forward though. Don't twist the body. That big toe is rooted down. Big toe is kind of your little anchor there, your big anchor. Once you arrive, know that trees do move in the wind. That's okay. So don't worry, don't beat yourself up if your tree isn't totally still. That's okay. If you fall out of it, just begin again. We'll be here for just another breath or two. When you're ready in your own time, exhale. And again, try to, with grace, come out of it. Shake that out a little bit. Very nice. Let's take a breath in arms, breathing in, scooping up all the joy, any joy that we didn't capture in our breath of joy. And then turning your palms, let's push away any negative energy. There's always going to be the negative Nellies out there. Push it away. Release. Let's do that one more time. Breathe in, something happy, something joyful, something hopeful. And turn your palms and push away anything that's hanging on that's not positive in your life. Yes. Come back to my mat. We are going to take one more breath in, but this time we're going to hinge at the hips. Soften the knees and swan dive forward into one more forward fold. We're going to walk our hands down and bend the knees, come down to a squat, and then down to our bottoms. Nice. So from here, we are going to work on, if you have lower back or neck issues, this might not be for you, I should say. We're just going to do a nice little easy spine roll, so this should feel nice, but again, listen to your neck and your back. If this is not comfortable for you, I'll show you before you even start. You might want to just try teetering on your bottom, starting like a beginning boat pose. So what I'm going to do is roll back, and forward. We're not rolling over on our head, just a nice little spine roll. So once you've done this a little bit, it's a little bit of core work, see if you can catch yourself. Maybe coming to a full bridge. Boat, not bridge. I can never have another week off, I'm forgetting everything. And if it feels better just to keep rocking and rolling, do so. This should feel nice in the spine. Again, if it doesn't, make sure you stop. And again, challenge yourself, stop in a boat. One or two more. One more time to stop. Catch yourself in boat, use that core strength. And then exhale, release down to your back. Have your strap handy. We are going to take that left leg out straight, and we're going to take that right foot up in the strap, right on the ball of the foot. Nice time to stretch out the back of the legs. Now just notice before you get here, if you are all tense up here, release those shoulders down. If your neck feels uncomfortable, straighten that neck out, relax it. And no death grip on your strap, just hold loosely, walking your hands up as you can, starting to straighten that leg. Remember to breathe, don't hold your breath. As you're here and you're breathing, maybe you have room to walk the hands up the strap a little, maybe pulling the strap back. And again, if you don't have a strap, you can just be holding onto your leg, doing the same thing. Next breath, let's release the right arm down, and we're going to cross the body on the exhale, over to the left. We're going to just be here for another breath or two, and stretch through the hip, glutes. One more breath, one more exhale, release a little more if you can. And on your inhale, come on back up. We're going to go right over to the right now. Release the left arm, open that leg. Oops, the wall's in my way. Hopefully there's no wall in your way and you can let your leg relax out. Each exhale, see if you can maybe let go a little more. Feel that stretch in your inner thigh. Should not be painful. Your leg shouldn't be shaking violently, so just let the stretch happen. We're going to be here for one more breath. And then inhale, come on back up. Let's hold that strap for one or two more breaths. Can you push the heel towards the ceiling a little bit more? Feel that back of the leg engage a little more. And then we're going to release that strap, set it over for the other side. Point and flex just a couple times with that foot. Make a few circles. And take a big breath in. And as you exhale, slowly release the leg down. Nice. And when you're ready, we'll proceed with the other side. Left leg goes up into the left foot goes in the strap, left leg's up in the air. Right leg's down and relaxed. If you have any lower back issues, you can always bend that right knee. Let that leg be hinged. So again, notice if you are bringing any tension or stress into your face, into your neck. There's no need for that. This is just stretching out the back of the leg. Getting the leg above the heart, giving the leg a little fresh oxygen and air, a little fresh blood supply. Walk your hands up the strap if you can. Maybe pull the leg closer to your body. Another breath. A little shaking's okay. You have to find that comfort zone. So shouldn't be shaking violently, but you are stretching out those big muscles there. And we're holding it a little longer to let the stretch really happen instead of rushing through it. On the next breath, release that left hand down, and we're going to cross over to the right with the left leg. So cross over, feeling the stretch in the glutes, the hips. Keep breathing. And exhale lets you release a little bit more into the pose. One more breath. One more opportunity to release just a little more. Next inhale, slowly roll back towards center, and then open up to the left. Keep breathing. Last breath here. And on your next breath in, come back up to center. Hold the strap with both hands. Again, push that heel towards the ceiling. Feel the back of the leg. Engage, feel that stretch. And then take the strap off the foot, set it to the side. Point and flex. Make some circles. Take a big breath in, and then exhale, slow it down. Don't just flop it down. See if you can do it a little bit slower than you normally would. And once those legs are both on the ground, just feel how they feel. Feel how they feel. Feel the maybe tingliness, feel them maybe feeling longer. And from here, we are going to draw the knees into the chest. One little tight squeeze, roll in some circles on the sacrum. We're going to take the arms up to the air, get your peace fingers ready. Grab those big toes. If you don't like that version, you can always grab the outside edges with your hands. We're going to come into Happy Baby, pulling the knees down towards the ground, opening up, and then finding your movement in Happy Baby. So soothing, so good for digestive issues, Happy Baby. One more breath here. And then any last little thing that's calling to you, maybe it's your blanket or an eye pillow, we're going to make our way right into our Shavasana. So when we do go into our Shavasana, we're going to open up those legs, let the feet flop out to the side, arms a little bit wider than your mat. I always like to fix my neck. Everyone who practices with me knows I just feel like your neck gets kind of cramped. Pick the skull up just an inch. Gently pull the neck so that it's long, and then set the head down. Pre-COVID, that's an adjustment I would do in a yoga class. It's really lovely, but I can't do that through the camera, so maybe try that on your own. Big breath in, big exhale out. And now, the most important part of our practice, Shavasana. Give yourself this few moments, please don't leave. Take the next moment or two just to receive the benefits of our practice. There's nothing to do, don't try to control the breathing. If the mind gets busy, just go back to the counting of the breath, or the visualization of your intention. I will mind the time.
Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase
the surface, bring your awareness back to your body. Don't make any sudden movements though, just revel in the sense of calm, tranquility. Noticing the difference from an hour ago when we started our practice, any sense of peace, maybe calm, maybe physical benefits in the body or in the mind. Just acknowledge them. Be grateful that you gave yourself this time today. And just start to slowly wake the body. No need to rush. Take the next few moments and stretch through fingers and toes. Stretch through legs and arms. Maybe a full body stretch if that calls to you. And taking a nice big breath, breathing in all that joy and positivity that we've conjured up during our practice. As you exhale, roll to your side, whichever side calls to you, right or left, doesn't matter. Take a moment in that side sleep position, keeping the mind clear, maybe creating a new intention for when you walk off your mat. It's easy to practice yoga on the mat, a little harder to keep the sense of calm, not reacting, being positive once you step out the door. On your next breath, help yourself up to a comfortable seat where we'll close our practice. Bringing your hands together at your heart space, bowing your head to your own inner light, and just taking a moment gratitude for your time together. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste. Thank you so much again, and feel free to share this video, tell other people we do this, but it's always up for at least a week, sometimes longer. And our intention is to hopefully provide you every week, usually on Mondays, with new class. Definitely call the library if you'd like to come join us. I'd love to see some of you in person in the park. And definitely leave a like or any questions or comments. You can also reach out to me if you do want to on Facebook or on Instagram, Yoga and Mindfulness with Dawn. And I'm always happy to answer questions and provide you with any kind of information regarding yoga and mindfulness. Okay, so have a great week, and I will see you next week. Thanks.